going to make a tutorial of how to run Windows 10 in Virtualbox. First, let's open the application. Now right here I'm running a Mac, but it's not really different from a Windows. It'll most probably be the same processes. So as you can see, I already have Windows 10 here, but I'm just going to make a new one for this video. So first you type in the name of the operating system, I guess Windows 10, but you could anyways choose it in the versions section, 32-bit or 64-bit. I'm going to go with 64-bit as my machine is a 64-bit machine. I'm just going to put some blank random name. Let's see, Windows 10. I'll just stick with Windows 10. Now I'll just continue. Yeah, see, I've already got a folder named Windows 10, so I'll just name it Windows 10 Professional because that's the DVD image file that I have. And before you do this process, you actually need to have an ISO file of Windows 10, and otherwise this process will not work. So after you have your ISO process of Windows 10, and it should look something like this, something like maybe n Windows 10 Pro blah 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 .iso. It should have an ISO at the end marking that it's a disk image. So now continue with this process, and let's say let's stick with 2 gigabytes. 2 gigabytes is the same thing as 2048 megabytes. Virtualbox automatically scans the operating system and sees what is the recommended memory size for your best results. I'm just going to stick with this and click continue. I will make a hard drive right now because I have to install the system, which you'll probably want to do too, so I'm going to create it. And the normal hard disk file type would be a VDI, so I'm going to go with that. You can have a fixed size or dynamically allocated, and Virtualbox explains what both are. Since a dynamically allocated hard disk file only takes up some of your hard disk, I'll probably be using this one, so I'll just click this. And I don't really want 32 gigabytes, that's a bit too short, so I'll go with something like 100. That's a good amount. Now everything's been created, but once you start up the machine, you need to provide a disk image. So I'm just gonna provide this one I've already put in, but you're just going to go into the upload section and upload your own ISO. So once you have it in the tray, you click on start. I'm just gonna click this and let's see what happens. So now, as you can see, the Virtualbox, the virtual machine is running the Windows 10 booting software, and now it's booted up. So my language is English, and my keyboard will be the US, so I'm just going to stick with that and click next and install now, and I'll just wait a couple seconds. Now it says I need a product key to activate Windows, but you don't actually need a product key unless you have one, and if you don't have a product key, it gives you a 30-day trial. So I'm just going to skip this for now, as I'm going to put my product key later. And it's just like if you're running this on an actual machine, if you're trying to pre-install for like any computer. So I'm just going to accept the license terms and click next. Now I can't upgrade because this is Virtualbox, so I haven't run this installation on another operating system. It's a complete it's a complete install, like clean install. Everything's going to be deleted, but there's nothing really there. So I'm just going to click custom. Now this drive 0 unallocated space, you'll have to make a new drive for that, and whatever file size you want. 1024 is 1 gigabyte, so that you multiply by 100, that gives you 100 gigabytes, and you apply. And Windows also might create additional partitions for system files. That's normal. See how this says systems were reserved? That is fine because it's required for Windows to be able to run correctly. Now you just have to wait. It's going to take a long time. Okay, at this point the installation has started speeding up a little. We just have to wait a couple more seconds and then it'll go on to installing the features. And during the installation your virtual machine might restart a little, so don't be worried about that. Okay, so we'll just wait. So now it's getting ready to install the features, and that's done. So now it's getting ready to install the updates. Now it says it's going to restart, so I'm just going to speed it up and click on restart now. As you can see, the Virtualbox machine restarted, and whatever you do, do not click any key because it'll go back to installing all that stuff before. Now it's just booting up everything, so we can wait. Currently, now it's getting the devices ready, which is usually what it always says in a virtual machine or in a real machine. So if you see that, that's fine. Now it's getting your virtual machine ready. All these processes that are occurring right now would actually be the same as if you're clean installing a new computer or even an old computer. Okay, now the booting has finished. And let's see what the result becomes. So we're just waiting with this black screen and everything's actually loading. Okay, so it actually booted up again and I did not know it would, but that's fine. You just have to follow the same process and it'll do this a couple times. Okay, now the virtual machine has loaded and let's see what comes up. Okay, now everything is loaded, and since I did not enter a product key earlier, it's telling me that it's time to enter a product key. So if you have a product key, which you may have or may not, you can enter your product key right here. So it can be something random like something like this. This isn't an actual product key. It will not work. So I'm just going to click on do this later, this little button right down here. And for this spot, it's talking about like personalization of the speech, typing, and inking input, all that stuff. You can either use express settings, which means Microsoft will set the settings for you, or you can set your own settings, which is a better idea since you don't know what Microsoft's setting. So I'm just going to click this and see what they're doing. So I'm fine with this. I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with this. But I don't want location services to be on. So I'm going to try and disable that. My computer's being slow right now, so it'll take me some time before I can get that button. Where's my mouse going? Here we go. Okay, that's off. And click on next. So for browser and protection, the options are like use smart screen online services, page prediction, automatically connect to suggested open hotspots, all this stuff. And then there's some stuff down here like send error and diagnostic information. I'm just going to keep all this stuff checked because it could help. And it's going to restart. So now you just have to wait. And it has restarted. And this time also you don't click any keys because then it'll go back to reinstalling everything, and that's already been done. So now we just wait for this to boot up. Now as you can see, the virtual machine has produced the screen saying just a moment. So we'll wait, and we wait, and we wait. Okay, now it'll ask you the question, who owns this PC? You can either click the option your workplace or school owns it, or you can click I own it. So right now I actually own this virtual machine. So I'm just going to click this. If you have certification from your university or school or your workplace, then you'll click this and follow the instructions there. But I'm just going to click I own it and click next. So right now I'm just going to type in my email. So this actually was my old username until I changed it, but that's fine. You type in your username or your email or your phone, and you have to have a Microsoft account for this. And you type in your password, but you can actually skip this step and make your account a local account. If that's what you want, then that's what you can do, but I'm just going to sign in with the Microsoft account because it makes Windows 10 easier to use. Now it's telling me my password's incorrect. I think I did something wrong there. I think that may have worked. Yep. Okay, and then it may ask you if you want to set up a pin. You can either skip this step if it will take too long, or you can set a pin. I'm just going to do one because it's much faster to get into your device. So I'll just put a random 4-digit pin. And once you've done that for both, the same 4-digit pin for both, you can click OK. Right now it's setting up your pin. Now everything will start loading. Now it starts talking to you about OneDrive if you signed into a Microsoft account. If you sign into a local account, then it may have not told you about this. You can either click the option save new files only to this PC by default, which means that your OneDrive will not be connected to this computer, so your pictures will not be stored in OneDrive and your documents will not be stored in OneDrive. But I'm just going to click next for the sake of it, because this helps you access your documents from anywhere where you have OneDrive. And then Windows 10 also has Cortana, a virtual assistant, and it's actually pretty helpful. You can use it in Microsoft Edge. You can use it in your basically your whole computer, and it helps you search for files or tell you the weather, all sorts of stuff, and even look up definitions. You can click not now if you're not really interested, which is down here, but I'm just going to use Cortana. Okay. Yep. So now it's signing into my account, and maybe a little glitchy, but now it's going to start saying all the introductory phrases and sentences, and it'll say that it's setting up stuff, and your screen will flash blue to black and all sorts of colors. Yeah. Okay, now it's saying let's start. So that's basically the installation of Microsoft Windows 10. Um, Now it may ask for networks, so I'm just going to say no, because I don't want anyone being able to discover me or this computer. But you can always change this option later. Okay. For you, your wallpaper may look different, like a Windows logo being um, like a glowing Windows logo over here, emitting light toward this spot over here, but mine's different since I have already logged in with the pre-Windows Microsoft account, so it'll load everything from the cloud from my Microsoft account. So now for some of you, this may be it, and you've enjoyed seeing my video, so have a good day. But for the others who want their screen to be even better for Virtualbox, you can actually go to devices and insert the guest edition CD image. Now this CD image is basically a software installation that allows you to resize this screen without having all these gaps, and it'll automatically make sure these sides are lined up here and this is lined up with this. So kind of like um, what's that word? Resizing, yeah. And also it'll make your PC more professional and you'll be able to personalize it more. So right now I'm going to install the guest edition CD. So I've already went to devices and inserted this guest edition CD image. So now I'm just going to go to my Windows Explorer and to this PC. So my PC is a little slow because I only have 2 gigabytes of RAM installed into this virtual machine, but that's fine. So yeah, I'll just have to wait. Yep, it's right here. And I'm just gonna run this. Yeah, my mouse is a little slow here. Okay, so I'll just wait for this little screen to load and I'll click yes. So now let's wait. Now this installation setup has popped up, so I'm just gonna click next and install it wherever it wants me to install it. You can always install this somewhere else, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to go through that hassle, so I'm just going to click next. And everything is checked off, and I can't really edit it because it's a gray box, not black. So I'll just click install. And I'll wait a couple seconds. As you can see, these processes are installing into the virtual machine, so then it can install all that personalization and screen adjusting software. And when it asks you this question, just click install. Now you just have to wait a couple seconds. As you can see, some of the installation was successful. It hasn't installed all of it, but soon will. Um, yep. Now it's slowly speeding up. Now once it's done, it'll ask you if you want to reboot now or manually reboot later. I'm just gonna reboot now so I can show you what the personalization settings will be like. So I'll just let it restart and see what happens next. Okay, so now my PC has booted back up. So I'm just gonna wait for everything to load, and now finally my mouse is faster. So one thing the Virtualbox Guest Editions does is it makes your virtual machine much faster. So I'm just gonna click in and log into this virtual machine using my PIN. And now your screen doesn't really look much different, but now when you resize your screen, it may come like this, but just wait a little, your process will come. And now the screen has adjusted by itself. So let's say I want to make it more compact, it automatically adjusts. Say I want to make it big, it gets huge. And say I want full screen, it adjusts automatically. So that's basically it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good day.